Indie Mogul.
Hey everybody, I'm Jake and you're watching Indie Mogul, the show that teaches you how to make props on a budget. This episode was brought to you by Squarespace. Whether you need a domain, website, or online store, make it with Squarespace. Go to squarespace.com/IndieMogul for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. By popular demand from social media, today we're making a TIE Fighter helmet, specifically Iden Versio's helmet. Versio? It's all made up. It's all make-believe. Now, this particular design has existed since 1977, so naturally there have been kits for it for, Mom and Dad, close your ears, 40 years. Oh no, the world's changed around you. I know how to program a VCR, alright? Everyone gets old. However, those kits can run anywhere from $80 to upwards of $600. So let's see if we can knock some zeros off of that. Gabe, what's our budget? Fantastic. Let's build us a bucket. For this build, you'll need a sports ball helmet, a toy stormtrooper mask, red LEDs, Plastidip, nightshade spray paint, gloss black spray paint, red paint, craft foam, and you know what? I'm going to use EVA because it's my goal in life to use EVA in every single video ever. You can get away with just using the thick craft foam that they have at craft stores. Quick seal, hot glue, a rotary tool, safety gear, something to cut with.
Super time lapse. Woo!
Okay, so originally how they built these is they slapped an X-Wing helmet right on top of a Stormtrooper helmet. I mean, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but I only have so much time. Just check the comments section. Someone will tell you the complete story because, you know, it's Star Wars. So they made these, I think it was 7 ridiculously tall TIE Fighter helmets, and a couple of those got repainted and used as AT-AT driver helmets for Empire. It's something that happens all the time in movies and television. It's called redressing. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm gonna go out and look for 2 helmets to stick together. Alright, so it turns out Stormtrooper helmets are a lot easier to find than X-Wing helmets, so I'm gonna use a sports ball helmet. Or hey, if you're lucky enough to find a helicopter helmet, I think that's exactly what they did for the movies. They just vacuum formed helicopter helmets. So you just root around a salvo until you find a good sized bucket. I removed all the unwanted accessories. This footage may look a bit familiar to some people, and that's because it's from one of my early attempts at making Rey's X-Wing helmet, which I later refined and repainted to be Biggs Darklighter's helmet. Originally, I coated it with watered down white glue instead of Plastidip as a sealant because I figured it's a helmet, it's solid, it's not gonna flex. But I mean, it's a helmet and it's plastic. Every time you put it on and take it off, it bends a little bit. Eventually cracks started to form. So yeah, just use Plastidip. Okay, so this super time lapse is gonna get a bit crazy for a moment because all of this hard work that I did is no longer relevant. As I just gloss over 2 different paint jobs. Oh hey, quick note, that's Green Squadron putty. It's literally called Green Squadron putty, but it comes in a red package because that makes so much sense. I use it to fill in seams on model airplanes and model cars. Again, I used it at the time because I figured it's gonna be solid, but I think quick seal would be a better option. All right, let's speed it up again. Man, look at all that intricate painter's tape. Definitely won't paint over that in 9 months. All right, present day. This is where the fun begins. I mean, game time has started. So I just ripped out all the unnecessary X-Wing stuff because that's, you know, it would just be covered up. I mean, I feel like a chin strap would really make sense in there, but you can't see it. And in the cutscene, she takes it off and puts it on really easily, so I gotta assume they don't have one. Then I ripped away more of the X-Wing details, which was way harder than I thought it'd be. I had to heat up a lot of areas with the heat gun in order to soften the glue so that I could peel them off. This was super obnoxious, so I looked around for any extra details that I could add in the meantime, and the only one I could think of was this little square. You gotta add that one little square back there. This was definitely worth the data that it's taking up in my hard drive. I use craft foam for the swoopy wraparound details. That's a great technical term. The swoopy bit. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? They asked for clear and concise, right? I'm clear and concise, right? The front of the TIE helmet is a lot more sloped than on an X-Wing helmet, so I cut that clean off. I feel like I should save this for something, but I have no idea what. Now, I filled in all the seams with Quick Seal, which, unlike green putty, is designed to flex a little bit. I bought a whole new tube of it for this, but I think, in all, it only took like 2 travel toothpastes worth. That's gonna take hours to solidify, so in the meantime, I'm gonna modify the mask. Okay, so I got this for $8 at a thrift store, but the tabs on either side and lack of headband straps sort of lead me to believe that it's supposed to be a full helmet and it's missing the back part, hence the low price. So I popped the lenses out to make working and painting easier and used scissors and a rotary tool to remove the tabs. I don't want to cut the dome part off if I don't have to, so I removed some of the padding to make room for it. Gross, you can see the sweat. Okay, so what this is telling me is that I gotta get this foam out of here. Otherwise, this is gonna snap right along the bridge of the nose. Oh, that was actually easy. Ugh, gross. Gross, gross, gross. Even that is so much better. I had a little bit of support foam in the ridge, because I can see over time it's started to bend inward. See, accuracy is always like a annoying thing with Star Wars props, because the original Stormtrooper helmets and TIE Fighter helmets were super asymmetrical, but what people remember is not quite the same as what actually is, and you've got 40 years of people remembering one thing that is an amalgamation of multiple things, so I don't know, just keep that in mind. Honestly, if you put a lot of work into a project and you go to a con with it, no one's going to give you a hard time because they can see that you put the work into it. I used my rotary tool and scissors to cut the mask off so that it would line up properly with the helmet. This is a lot of trial and error. I hot glued it in using bits of foam as support and also to cover up some of my mistakes. It wasn't quite connecting at the bottom edges, so I took a break from that for a while to work on the top ridge. While doing that, I realized that I was going to need to attach the bottom of the mask with machine screws, so I went ahead and did that. I wish it would have lined up with the pre-drilled holes in the helmet, but no such luck. I covered the screws on the inside with bits of foam so as not to stab the wearer in the neck, actor safety. I attached the earpieces and hid the seams as well as the screws with thin craft foam. I totally lucked out that that's part of the actual design. I also added these 3 dots on either side with hot glue. This is an abomination. Okay, so now let's cover it all up with paint. Thing is, the only parts that are gonna take a coat of paint are the plastic parts, so I hit all the exposed foam areas with multiple coats of Plastidip. That takes several days to dry, but when it does, it creates a surface that you can paint on. So when it was dry, I painted it gloss black. You may have to do multiple coats. I also hit the lenses with Nightshade spray paint because they were just a little too transparent. Yeah, look at that. It reflects. That's what happens when you use spray paint from this millennia. There's a couple areas that need some touch up, like right down there, a little bit of white showing through and some things on the back. But see, the thing is with spray paint, you have to let it sit for 2 days. Like it'll say dries to the touch in an hour, dries fully in a day. But really, if you miss that 1 hour recoat time, you gotta wait like 2 days before you touch it up. Otherwise, something called lifting will happen. Which is where all of your dreams get destroyed. When the spray paint had dried, I began to reassemble the pieces. I put black felt behind the vent. Then I used red acrylic stencils for the decals. Okay, so Inferno Squadron's helmets have a subtle red glow behind the eyes. So to achieve that, I put some red LEDs in there. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and hey, we're so close to 1 million. So close. What happens when we get do we get a diamond play button? Oh my god. Be ridiculous. Well, I don't get a diamond play button. I'm responsible for like the last 6,000. Leave requests for what you want to see us make down in comments below. And once again, huge thanks to Squarespace for allowing us to make these videos bigger and better. Squarespace. Use Squarespace to design a website that's specific to you and your needs. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/IndieMogul for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Building your own website is easy with their 24/7 customer support. There's nothing to install, patch, or update ever. Don't hesitate. Make your dream a reality. You want to build a high-tech battle station capable of blowing up a planet? Who am I to judge? Make it with Squarespace. Okay, so I do want to mention, you can make a Stormtrooper helmet out of foam. It's just, why?